All right, this is Algebra 2, the Ingenuity chapter, whatever. Okay, so this is the rational inequalities. Let's get started with the assignment part. So later I'm going to be talking about the quizzes. It's going to be a long lesson, a long video. All right, so first of all, let's write this rational expression and factor it. So I'm going to factor 2 x plus 3 times x minus 3 over x plus 4 times x minus 2. And if that's going to equal to 0, if I say this expression is going to equal to 0, which means that your numerator is going to equal to 0. Okay, you want to set your numerator equal to 0. So you're going to bring this down, and I'm going to write it like this. So set it equal to 0. Okay, so which means that the expression inside parentheses, you have to set each one equal to 0. So x is going to equal to positive and negative 3. So you're going to choose positive 3 and negative 3. Okay, so vice versa, if I'm going to say that x plus 3, we're going to be using the same expression. So just copy it real quick. Oh, by the way, this is plus. All right, so after I copy down the expression, if this is going to be undefined, which means that you're going to have to set the denominator equals to 0. Okay, so we're going to solve each expression inside of parentheses equal to 0. So x is going to equal to negative 4 or x equals to negative 2. These two values is going to get the whole entire expression to become undefined. Okay, so choose negative 4 comma negative 2. Let's go ahead and do the next one. All right, so this time we're going to have, let me change my color real quick. So let's say the inequality, okay, the rational expression is greater than 0. Okay, you can factor it to that. Okay, so this is a very important slide because we're gonna find something called crucial points. Okay, so crucial point is what you gotta do on the following. You gotta have to do the following steps. Okay, so you got to use that on the number line. Okay, so let's plot out 4 points, 4 different values. So you're gonna have to set each expression. So I'm gonna write it on the side. So x plus 3, you want to set it equal to 0. X minus 3, you want to set it equal to 0. X plus 4, you want to set it equal to 0. And x plus 2, you want to set it equal to 0. And you're going to solve for x. So x is going to equal to negative 3. X is going to equal to positive 3. X is going to equal to negative 4. X is going to equal to negative 2. Okay, so on the number line, you're going to plot all those points. I'm going to tell you guys what to do next. So let's get started with the negative 4. Then negative 3 and negative 2, and there's another one, it's a positive 3. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the how to plot the open circle or closed circles. So if you guys see inequality says greater, okay, a greater means it's going to be open circle for the numerator. So for the numerator is going to be these two. Okay, so for the negative 3 and positive 3, you want to put open circle because this is the inequality symbol is greater. Okay, if it's greater or less without the equal sign, see, this is the equal sign. Okay, if it's without the equal sign, you're gonna plotting open circle. If I say that I'm gonna have an equal sign like that, then you're gonna go ahead and do the closed circles. Okay, but this time we're gonna just have it without the equal sign, so we're gonna plot open circles. Now the next thing I want to do is, let me change the color, is the bottom part, because this cannot equal to 0 regardless. So if you set the bottom two expression equal to 0, that basically tells you that your x cannot be those values. So your x cannot be negative 4 and negative 2. So you gotta have to regardless what the symbol is, you're gonna have to put open circle on that. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is to understand that these are the crucial points. Okay, all four of these. And when we are testing it, we're gonna be testing it not on these points. Don't pick -4, -3, -2, or 3. You want to choose anything less than -4, or between -4 and -3, or between -3 and -2, or between -2 and 3, or something greater than 3. Okay, so the one you want to choose are -5, because that's right here. Okay, you want to choose the -3.5, because it's between -4 and -3. You want to choose -2.5, because that's somewhere over here. You want to choose 0, okay, because that's right here. And you can also choose 5. Okay, so these are the ones you have to check. Now let's get to the next part of this same question. Okay, this is the same question. So I'm gonna redraw the number line. Okay, so you got 4 different crucial points. We got -4 earlier, we got -4 and -3, and then there's a -2, and there's a +3. Okay, so which are the ones that's gonna work, that satisfy this inequality? Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys how this goes. So if you guys try the -5, what's gonna happen is you're gonna put -5 plus 3. So you're just basically plugging the -5 into x over -5 plus 4, -5 plus 2 greater than 0. Okay, normally we have to solve it, okay, but I'm actually not going to ask you to solve it. I want you to analyze it. Okay, so what that means is that just look at this. -5 plus 3, that's going to be a negative. Okay, and this is going to be a negative as well. Okay, and then the bottom one, this is going to be a negative, and this is also going to be a negative. Okay, so if you have a negative times negative times negative times negative, that's going to be a positive value. Okay, it's not 0, it's a positive value. That is going to be greater than 0. Okay, which means that -5 is going to work. So make sure you guys check -5. Okay, so the next one you want to check is actually, okay, so let me write this one. It's going to be open circle. Okay, that's going to be your solution. The next one is not going to be too hard to guess. You're actually just going to use the method called alternating number line. Okay, I just make that up. Okay, so what's going to happen is that your solution is going to be alternating by segments. So earlier I told you that these are all the crucial points with the open circle. If I have my solution here, I won't have my solution on the next segment. I would have it here. Okay, this is basically applying on 90% of the questions. And then, okay, I'll say 95%. The next part, nope. So your solution is going to be here. Okay, so you're not going to choose the -3.5 because that's right here. You're not going to choose 0 because that's going to be right here. The next one you want to check is going to be x equals to 5 because that's going to be right here. Okay, so now which one do you want to check? Okay, so for that one, because I told you guys it's going to be the 3 parts. It's going to be this part and this part and that part. Okay, so you just want to check for the one that's satisfied with that condition on the number line. So you want to check the first one. Kind of crazy, right? So which inequality is the same as that? Okay, so this is what you do. Every time when you see that inequality is less than or equal to a value, you want to set one side equals to 0. That's the first thing you want to do. Okay, set that equals to 0. Okay, so this is what you do. You want to subtract 5 over b on both sides. So here I'm going to rewrite it. So 7 minus 2 over b minus 5 over b less than or equal to 0. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to rewrite the 7. I'm going to multiply by b over b, so it's going to be 7b over b. It doesn't change the value of this original 7. 7b over b is basically 7, right? Now I'm going to combine all the fractions. Okay, so after I combine it, it's going to be 7b minus 2 minus 5. Common denominator is 5, less than or equal to 0. So I have 7b minus 7 over b, less than or equal to 0. And then my answer is almost there. So you're going to rewrite this, factor out the 7. So it's going to be b minus 1. 7 times b minus 1 over b, less than or equal to 0. Okay, so the one you want to choose is going to be letter B. Okay, there's no letter. All right, so how are you gonna determine what the answer is? So I forgot to erase this. Okay, so you already know what the answer is, but I'm gonna show you how to. The correct way of doing it, you always have to do it on a number line. Okay, so that's analyze this one. So the crucial points. So we know that the equal sign is appearing. Okay, so you're about to have some closed circles coming up. So closed circles are going to be the ones that you see. If you set b minus 1 equals to 0, so b minus 1 equals to 0, b is going to equal to 1. So you're going to plot, you will plot a closed circle on 1. Okay, but I'm gonna do that later. So for the bottom part, denominator can never equals to 0 in this case, because that's going to give you undefined on the calculator. If you do anything divided by 0, it's undefined. Okay, so b cannot equal to 0. So on the 0, you're about to put an open circle. Okay, so you're going to put open circle here, and then you're going to put a closed circle here for 1. Now you're going to do the test. Okay, so let's try something less than 1. So if you try maybe like less, let's say -1. If you plug in -1, that's going to give you a negative. And if you plug in -1 here, that's going to become positive. The whole entire rational expression is going to become positive. But look at this. It needs to be less than or equal to 0, means that it has to be a negative. But this thing, if you plug in -1, it's going to give you a positive. So which means that you're not going to have solutions anything less than 0. Okay, I told you guys the alternating solution method. So the next part has to be your solution, and the next part cannot be your solution. Okay, so the one you want to choose is going to be 0 is less than b, less than or greater, because there's a closed circle over here, 1. So make sure you guys check the first one. It's a crazy lesson. I don't even know how many of you guys are gonna listen to it, but I'm gonna do it. All right, so the next slide, pretty easy, right? So let's just analyze this. Let me write a little bigger. Okay, so let's look at the inequality symbol. It doesn't have the equal sign. Okay, but regardless, there's no variables in the numerator. Okay, so we don't have to worry about anything. So make sure you guys understand that denominator cannot equal to 0. Okay, but we're gonna solve it and see which one it cannot become, so we can put an open circle on it. So that's going to be x minus 4 equals to 0, x equals to 4. We're about to put an open circle on where x equals to 4. Okay, so open circle. Now we're going to do a test. Okay, so let's plug in 0 and see how it goes, because it's less than 4. So that tests you guys, I'm helping you to test the left side of the open circle. So if you have 0, plug in 0 in there, 0 minus 4, that's going to be negative, right? So the whole entire thing is going to be negative. So that doesn't fit the description of greater than 1, okay? So which means that this part is not your solution, which means that this part will be your solution. If you plug in anything greater than 4, you will get your solution correctly, okay? You will get your expression greater than 0. All right, so now you just have to choose which one would be your answer. So that's going to be letter C, because x is greater than 4. All right, so now the little extension of this. So I'm going to use a different color. So we have x plus 2 over x minus 4, and it's less than 0. Okay, what you're going to understand that is this doesn't have an equal sign, right? So which means that when we test out the points, okay, so let's just draw this on a number line, because this one is actually kind of easy to solve. So set the numerator equal to 0, and you know that x is going to equal to negative 2. So plotting negative 2 here. Set this equal to 0, that means x is going to equal to 4, okay? Because it doesn't have the equal sign, so that means the numerator, that one with the negative 2, it needs to be an open circle. For the denominator, where x equals to 4, it's going to be an open circle regardless, okay? So now you're just going to plug it in, the points, the test. So plugging anything less than negative 2, maybe like a negative 3, and you are going to get, so you plug in negative 3 here, plug in negative 3 here, you're going to get a negative over negative, so it's going to be a positive. Positive cannot be less than 0, so this part cannot be your solution. Okay, let's see. This part cannot be your solution because the alternating method I told you, so it has to be in between. Okay, so your x is going to be in between a negative 2 and a 4. Okay, so you know which one to choose. Don't choose the first one, please. Okay, so make sure you choose the second one. All right, so let's look at the next one. So you want to solve the inequality and write the solution. Okay, so this is called the interval notation, and it's going to be a little trickier. So every time when you guys see a parentheses, that's for open, the open circle. If you see a bracket like this, that's for the closed circle. Okay, get the understanding. All right, so let's look at the inequality that they give us. Let me rewrite it over here. So x minus 6 over x plus 5 is less than 0. Okay, so let's keep in mind, this one does not have an equal sign, so you're about to have an open circle on the where x equals to 6 is about to be an open circle, and then the one on the bottom is going to be open circle regardless. That's going to be the one for x equals to negative 5. Okay, so let me draw this on a number line. So negative 5 and then positive 6, and then open circle on both. And then what you're going to do is that you're going to just go ahead and test it out. So if you test out the using 0, okay, I already know what the answer is. Okay, so nothing wrong with just me showing you guys the solution. So if you're putting 0, this inequality is going to work. Okay, it's going to give you the correct inequality statement. So this part is the solution. Okay, so how do you write that in the interval notation? Is that these are open circles, right? So you're about to get 2 parentheses. So you're going to have parentheses here for negative 5, parentheses over there for positive 6, and put a comma in between. So first one. Now let's look at the next one. So this one is also without the equal sign. So you're about to have an open circle on for the x values on the numerator. You can already know that this is going to be x plus 1, x minus 1. So I'm going to do this quick. So on the negative 1 and positive 1, they're about to be open circles. Okay, so for the bottom part, 3x minus 6, you want to set that equal to 0. That's going to be an open circle as well. So if you solve it, x is going to equal to 2. So on where x equal to 2, you're about to have an open circle as well. Okay, so let's put an open circle for all of them. All right, let's test out this solution. Okay, so the ones you're gonna see that works, that makes the inequality statement correct, are gonna be this part and that part. You can just try testing with the values in between -1 and 1. You can putting 0 and see how it goes, and putting 3 and see how it goes. Okay, all right, so how do you write that? So when this is alternating, you're gonna use the notation called the union. Okay, so basically these two are correct, and you're gonna form the union. That symbol means U. Okay, all right, so you're gonna put open circle -1 comma 1 open circle, sorry, parentheses, union with the parentheses because it's open circle for 2 comma, this is towards the positive infinity, so you're gonna put infinity. Every time when you have an infinity, it's always gonna be open circle or the parentheses, not the bracket. Okay, so the one you want to choose, let's see, I'm making a mess over here. This is not cool. I'm making a mess over here. I don't even know which one is the answer. I guess I'll come back and tell you which one is it, because I just roll a bunch of stuff. If I can see it, it's probably this one. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I think I just blocked the bracket. All right. Okay, the next one. So this is the one they give us. Okay, so you're gonna have to solve for it using the method that I told you. Since I don't have enough space, I'm gonna just skip all the parts in between and tell you that I'll do this later. Okay, so this is there's one more question like this in the quiz, and then I'll show it to you. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna choose 0 and 4 and 10 and 30. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that yeah, you're just gonna listen to the answer. So for the 0, it's gonna be an open circle. For the closed circle, for the 4, it's gonna be closed circle. 10 is gonna be open circle. 30 is gonna be closed circle. Okay, and then the solutions are gonna be it's between 0 and 4, 10 and 30. Okay, so what's gonna happen here? What's gonna happen here is that you're gonna use the well, this is gonna be parentheses 0 comma 4 bracket union with parentheses 10 comma 30 bracket. Okay, so the ones you have to check over here is going to be this one right there, and 10 and 30. Okay, and then here's the keyword, variable. Okay, so sorry, variable. So which means that which one really works based on this condition. Okay, so the one that's gonna work is that it says that it decreased the boat rate by 10 miles per hour. So if you have anything in between 0 and 4, you cannot decrease 10 miles from, let's just say, a 3. You cannot decrease 10 miles from 3. You're gonna get negative speed. There's no way. Okay, so the only one that's gonna work is gonna be between 10 and 30. Okay, because if you have something called, you have like 15 miles per hour, yeah, you can decrease by 10 miles per hour. Okay, you're still gonna get a positive speed. All right, so now we're gonna get to the quiz part. All right, so which shows all the crucial points for that? Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're going to factor everything. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and factor it. So you really need to know how to factor these. Okay, so let's check the symbol. There's no equal sign, so you're about to have everything in open circles. Okay, so we'll write this. So look at this. Set equal to 0, so x equals to -2. Set that equal to 0, so x equals to 2. X equals to 2. X equals to 3. Okay, so it's going to be -2, duplicate it. Oh no, just once. 2 and a 3. Okay, I'm not drawing this to scale. Okay, you know that 2 happens twice. Okay, you just need to mark it once. All right, so these are all going to be open circles, but that's not what they're asking here. They just want you guys to identify what are the crucial points. So it's going to be this last one right here. Okay, so -2, +2, and +3. Go ahead and look for the next one. So crucial points for rational inequalities are -4 and +2. Okay, so what you're gonna do is draw this out. So it's -2, +2. -4 and +2. I'm getting crazy. This video is way too long, man. All right, so the ones you have to test is somewhere over here, somewhere over here, somewhere over here. So this one, you don't have to do any calculation. Just make sure you guys check the third one because -5 is less than 4. And between -4 and 2, that would we have a 0. Greater than 2, we have a 3. Okay, so make sure you check that third one. All right, so let's look at the next one. So which one shows all the crucial points? All right, so this is what you need to do. This is a little crazy. Okay, so make sure you understand one thing. You gotta have to set one side equals to 0. Okay, so subtract x1, x minus 1 over x minus 2. Actually you have to do it on both sides. Okay, you're subtracting that. So let me rewrite this. 2x plus 5 over x minus 2. Subtract x minus 1 over x minus 2 greater or equal to 0. Let's combine that. So we have denominator stays the same. So we got 2x plus 5 minus x plus 1. Okay, so greater or equal to 0. Oh my god. So I have x plus 6 over x minus 2 greater or equal to 0. Can't believe I'm doing this in one shot. Alright, so now let's analyze the inequality symbol. Has an equal sign, right? So that means that the numerator, if you set it equal to 0 and solve for it, that's going to be x equals to -6. That is going to be a closed circle. I'll put CC for closed circle. Okay? On the bottom, regardless of what the circumstances are, it's going to be open circle. I'll put OC. Okay, so let's try this out. So it's going to be -6, +2. Oh my god, so many problems. So make sure you guys put closed circle over here and open circle over here and start testing out the points. Okay, we don't have to do any tests. You just need to know that it's -6 and +2. All right, so next one, what is the solution for that? This time you actually have to test out the points, okay? First thing first, factor all the things. Numerator is going to be x plus 3 times x minus 2, okay, over x minus 7 less than or equal to 0. Now let's check out the symbol. It does have an equal sign, right? So what that means is that you're about to have, okay, we can just eyeball and see what the x values are. So this is x equals to -3 and the x equals to +2. And those are about to be, because the equal sign right there. So, okay, let me circle this. Equal sign right there. So they're about to have closed circles, okay? All right, so this is just eyeball it. It's going to be x equals to 7. So put 7 over here. And then that's going to be open circle regardless. And then the -3 and a +2 are going to be closed circles because I told you. Okay. All right, so now you're going to have to test out the points. This is what I like to do. I'll show you guys. I like to test out with the negative infinity. Okay. So maybe put like, think of it like -100. All right. So what happens if we put a -100 here? -100 here. And -100 there. Okay. You're about to get a negative here. You're about to get a negative here. You're about to get a negative here. So 3 negatives makes the negative. So that's gonna work. Okay. So this part is going to work because it's less than or equal to 1. Alternating segments. Okay, that means that these two parts are going to work. So let's just write down the solutions. So you're going to have x is less than or equal to closed circle. So you got to make sure it's less than or equal to -3. Okay, and x is going to be in between 2 and less than 7. Okay, so make sure you guys check the first one. All right, 4 more to go. All right, so which value makes the inequality true? Okay, so let's check this out. So 6 minus 0, that's about to be an open circle. 6 minus x equals to 0. X is going to equal to 6. So that's going to be open circle. So make sure you guys check the one that is wrong. Okay, the rest of them are correct. So open circle, open circle, open circle. Good. Okay. But if you just check on the last one, it has a solution on every part. BS. Okay. Now the first one or the third one. Okay. So let's continue the do the other point. This is going to be x plus 6 equals to 0, so x equals to -6. And then because the inequality symbol doesn't have an equal sign, so that's about to be another open circle. Okay, so the first one and the third one, they do have open circles. Okay, so now you just have to test it out and see which one is true. I told you guys I had to test out with the positive infinity. This time I'm going to show you guys with the... Okay, let me rewrite this. Okay, I'm gonna test out with the a very big number. So a positive infinity. So let's just say 100. Putting 100 there. So that's about to be a positive, and on bottom is about to be a negative. So positive over a negative, that's gonna be a negative. So that is gonna be correct. Okay, so this part is gonna be correct, which means that this part is not going to be correct and this part is going to be correct. Okay, so do not choose the first one. You want to choose letter C. Okay, sorry, there's no letters. Okay, choose the third one. All right, so what is the solution of this? So make sure you guys set one side equal to 0, so subtract 1/5 on both sides. So you have 1 over x plus 1/3 minus 1/5. Less than 0. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you guys have the common denominator. Okay, so the best way to find it is multiply everything. The common denominator is going to be 15x if you multiply everything. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite 15x for all of them. So 15x over here, 15x over here, 15x over here. Okay, so if every denominator becomes 15x, the first one is going to be 15. Okay, and then the next one is going to be 5x, and the third one is going to be 3x. Good thing I caught this one. I'm just tired. Okay, this is subtraction. Okay, so now just combine all the fractions. So it's going to be 15 plus 5x minus 3x over 15x. My God, my voice is changing. Okay, my God. All right, so we have 15 plus 2x over 15x. I'm dying. All right, so what's gonna happen is let's analyze the inequality symbol. It doesn't have an equal sign, which means that if you solve from the numerator after you set it equal to 0, that's about to be x equals to negative 15 over 2, and that's about to have an open circle. The bottom one set equal to 0, you're going to find that x equals to 0. That's going to be open circle regardless. Okay? So, number line negative 15 over 2 and a 0. Open circle for both. Okay? So, if you test it out, it's going to be in between. Okay? So, choose the first one. All right. This is the one I promised you from the assignment that I'm about to do this one. I gotta have a sip of water real quick. All right, so this is the inequality that they give us. Okay, I'm gonna rewrite this. But before I rewrite it, I gotta understand that I want to set one side equal to 0. Okay, so subtract 1/10 on both sides. Okay, so I'm gonna rewrite this as 1 over x plus 1 over x minus 15 minus 1 over 10 greater or equal to 0. Now let's find the common denominator. Okay, so common denominator, the easiest way, it's going to be multiply all of them together. Well, actually, that's going to be the least common multiple anyway. So what's going to happen is you're about to have 10x times x minus 15 plus another 10x times x minus 15. A lot of teachers, or back at least back in my high school, we just put LCD as least common denominator. Yeah, I want to do that, but I forgot. All right, so let me write the numerator a different color. So if I change the bottom or the denominator to 10x times x minus 15, the numerator is going to be, for the first one, it's going to be 10 times x minus 15. Second one is going to be 10x. The third one is going to be, why is there a 1? I messed it up. Okay, so it's going to be x times x minus 15. Okay, don't worry about that. Let me erase this. God. Okay, so I'll put x right here. Okay, so now I'm going to combine all the denominator. I just don't find myself with enough space. All right, you guys can do the math. So what's going to happen is that you're about to have negative x square, if you combine it, plus 35x minus 150. All right, I'm about to put that LCD. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to factor the top. Okay, so what you're going to do is you should factor out the negative first, so it will become like this. Minus 35x plus 150. Okay, over the LCD. Okay, so I'm going to have to pull this out. I need to pull out some other space. Okay, I'm gonna continue from there. Oh, sorry. So I'm gonna factor that, so it's gonna be negative x minus 30 x minus 5 over 10x. Well, I'm not gonna put LCD anymore. X minus 15. Okay, so that's the inequality that's greater or equal to 0. Okay, let's analyze all the crucial points. So the crucial points are going to be where x equals to 30, 5. Well, think of it there as a parentheses. So 0, 15. Okay? With the narrow little space, I'm going to have to put all those 4 numbers. So it's going to be 0, 5, 15, and 30. Okay? So 0 and 15 are going to be open circles because they're in the denominators. So 0 and 15, open circles. 30 and 5 are going to be closed circles based on the inequality symbol. Okay? If you guys test out the points, it's going to be between 0 and 5, 15 and 30. Okay? So you want to choose this one or this one. Okay? But only one of them is going to work because not both interval contains the variables rates for the hoses. So the reason why is that it says that you have to have 15 gallons less per minute. Okay, so if you choose the first one, then let's just say you have 3 gallons. How are you gonna have 15 less gallons? How do you have a 3 gallons and then 15 less for the second one? So this time you have to choose the second one. The second one is going to be correct because let's just say that if you have 20, because that's between 15 and 30, if you have 20, then you are going to be able to have 15 gallons less for the second hose. Crazy. Oh my God. All right, so which answer includes the interval that contains the solution? Thank God this is the last one. Okay, can't believe I put this one for the last. This one's actually not that hard. Okay, so let's go ahead and factor the numerators. That's going to be x plus 1, x minus 1, over. Okay, factor all the 3, so x plus 3 less than or equal to 0. Okay, all right, so because you can just eyeball it and see what are the crucial points. So that's going to be -1. Oh, sorry. Well, this is going to be -3, and this is going to be -1, and this is going to be +1. Okay, so -3, -1, and then +1. Okay, so because of the symbol has an equal sign there, so that means that this one and that one, -1 and +1, are going to be closed circles. And this one is going to be open circle because that's in the denominator. Okay, so if you test it, you're going to see that this part is correct, this part is correct. So your answer has to be parentheses, -infinity, -3, parentheses, union with closed circle, so that's going to be bracket, -1, comma, +1. Okay, so the one you want to choose is going to be the last one. Okay, and I'm going to tell you, I think Ingenuity has something wrong. So this appears to have brackets and they put parentheses. But I'm pretty sure this last one is the correct answer. So Ingenuity got the wrong answer. But make sure you guys choose that one. All right, so that's it for everything. Take care, guys. Peace.